Hey folks, I'm Alex Beller, one of the co-founders and the president of Postscript. When I have a chance to talk to customers, it's usually about SMS marketing, but I'm starting something new that I hope all of you in the e-commerce community will find interesting. We're going to do a little bit of building in public about one of our other products, SMS sales. If you didn't know, now you know. We launched SMS sales in May. What is SMS sales? What is this concept? What is this thing? It's where we pair a team of expertly trained sales associates with purpose-built software to proactively engage your subscribers and convert way more of them into happy customers. In layman's terms, it's a new product from Postscript that doubles your SMS revenue. I know that this concept of doing proactive sales over SMS, it's still really foreign to a lot of folks in the e-commerce community. You might have heard or encountered other human-in-the-loop sort of offerings. Often they just text people a coupon code when the person abandons their cart, and we're certainly all very familiar with outsourced customer support. But that is not what SMS sales is. If you think about the type of person who would be successful as a sales associate at like Nordstrom, that's very different than who you would hire for an outsourced support agent sort of role. And the former, that idea of like a skilled retail seller, that's the level of talent we're bringing to Postscript for SMS sales. It's a US-based team with expertise in sales, retail, e-commerce. We extensively onboard and train them, not only, of course, on how to sell via SMS, but also for all the particulars of each brand, training them on the products inside and out, but also on the unique sales playbooks required to make each brand work. If you might imagine, the unique sales playbooks that work for selling people sheets are very different than those required to sell water bottles. And that's because the sort of questions potential customers have vary greatly, and the sort of shopping patterns and bundling that they might do on site, those require really different playbooks. And we take a lot of time and energy into, first of all, discovering what those playbooks are on a brand by brand basis when they onboard, and then training the team how to sell that particular product set. So as part of this, I want to start sharing behind the scenes on building this new offering and share more of what we're learning about launching this entirely new concept for brands like Dr. Squatch and Gosney and Caraway and many others. I hope you follow along. So to start off today, here's 4 things we've learned since the initial launch. Number 1, the incremental GMV lift is really significant. So when we launched in May, we felt pretty confident from the closed beta we'd been doing previously in saying that SMS sales could drive 5% GMV lift for a brand. And we've since run holdout tests with over 24 brands to measure the incremental impact of SMS sales. And many of those brands are now fully ramped up. GMV lift of 5% still holds true. That's the average that we're seeing. And that's already an amazing lift with very little effort on the brand side because they're simply turning on this new initiative that layers on top of their ongoing SMS marketing strategy. But there's also a lot of brands out there, Hank's Belts, Gosney, Sniff, Neighbor. Those are all brands that have had months where the GMV lift was well above 10%. And that's exceeding even our expectations for what's still an early product where there's lots more investment to be had and lots more optimizing to be doing. Second thing, e-commerce customers, right? The customers of brands, they want more handholding throughout the process than we envision. I think, I'm an ex-e-commerce operator myself before starting Postscript, and I can relate to this. The e-commerce community is extremely focused on scalable revenue. We're very focused on improving conversion funnels to ensure that we're making the most of our CAC. But it's easy to forget that there's an actual person behind the screen who wants to make a good buying decision and not waste their money. Especially the more complicated or involved the buying process is, the more likely they are to give up or pass or not buy right now. So one of the brands we work with, Gosney, right? They sell $500 to $2,000 pizza ovens. And as you can imagine, their customers and their prospects have all kinds of questions before committing that much money to a pizza oven. Will it fit inside? Will it fit in my backyard? What accessories do I need? What type should I buy? What's the return policy? What's it made of? All kinds of stuff like that. In our A/B testing period of the holdout test for Gosney, we saw 42% higher conversion rates than what they see with SMS marketing alone, simply by stepping in to guide them with SMS sales. That's a huge increase and makes their entire business more efficient. Third thing, the huge amount of engagement we see from prospects and customers on behalf of brands. 40 to 50% of all new SMS subscribers that join a brand's list each month actually text our sales associates back. That's crazy. That's a huge percentage of people who want to be having these live conversations with the brand. I'm a firm believer that most brands do not text their customers often enough. But even I was surprised to see that level of response rate. We often hear brands worried that if SMS sales associates start texting their subscribers, will it annoy them? But nearly half of all the subscribers that we reach out to are happy to chat. And while, of course, not every conversation leads to a sale, what I guarantee is that subscribers walk away, even if they haven't bought, having a positive and pretty memorable experience with that brand because we do so much work in onboarding to understand the brand's voice and to train our team on how to speak in their way. Fourth thing is that people really love Chad. People love Chad. So what am I talking about? We work with every brand in SMS sales to create a unique persona for their sales agents. And I want to introduce you to one of my absolute favorites. His name is Chad. Chad works for Dr. Squatch. Chad's manly, casual, humorous. Guy's got a lot of confidence. He's educational. He texts like he's texting his friends, and customers really like him. So I'll drop some examples of some of Chad's conversations so you can check out and see what it looks like. I'm talking a lot about the human side of this, but another thing that's really interesting to me is the software side, because the entire software suite for SMS sales sits on top of the PostScript well, and it does so much of the heavy lifting to optimize these conversations and to surface them at the right time and to ensure that the sales agent is set up for success. So we're investing a ton there, and it's really early days, but we're excited. So if you have any questions about SMS sales, if you want to get set up with your own team of sales associates before Black Friday, you want to talk to us about running a holdout test, or if you have any feedback or want to hear other stuff from me on the series, hit me up. Have a great week.